So in my absence, we're going to look at a T chart here comparing COVID-19 to the Spanish flu. Spanish flu was, you may have heard comparisons of the Spanish flu. It was the last extensive pandemic worldwide. I mean, you talked about the United States, but it actually happened worldwide. And the last major pandemic that we had, and we've talked about other ones, but the Spanish was a mass major one we had that really um, killed comparatively more, but up to like compared to the number of people that COVID has affected. So first thing I'd like you to do is look up three resources or three resources we could say slash articles using Newsela. You can do a search, log in with Google, and the Newsela website is here. And so, say you've logged into it. What's your role? You're a student. You wouldn't enter a class, so you would say no, and you're just going to enter your date of birth, and then next, and then you'll be able to have a prompt to log in with Google. So because I'm already on Newsela, I can just log in, sign in, and I would sign in. And I don't have a class code for this, so we can just sign in using your Google account. So sign up using your Google account. It's the best way to do it, and I will use that one. I think that's school's account. And so then if I do a search for COVID 19, if I do a search, I'll find numerous articles, and I can go down to the bottom and even look at show more results and show even more results. But when you think about these, think about articles that would cover the following categories. And look down here and look for articles that cover scientific categories, cultural, like artistic, pop culture, political will be extensive. Government actions, travel restrictions, quarantine testing, demographic, transmission process, survival rates. That's the daily logs of, like the daily accounts and the infection rate of people in the testing, geographic, number of cases by country, transmission routes, areas hardest hit, etc. Economic, stock market, travel industry, lost economic output. So these would be the articles you're looking for as categories. Once you've found three different categories, write a brief summary, 2 sentences, put a link to that article in there. You may have to expand these tables out, and then also discuss and categorize the three articles using these categories from below. Which category would it best fit in? Then watch this video explaining the Spanish flu so you could get an idea for it. It's about a 6-minute video. And then there's a whole bunch of sources below about the Spanish flu. Based on the types of categorizations you used for the Newsela article, based on the types of categorizations you used for the Newsela article, you're going to you pick three categories, and they're categories for you. So if you picked a scientific one, you would compare it to source one about the Spanish flu. If you picked a cultural one, you pick source two, and so on. And so again, you're going to classify the articles of the COVID 19 articles, and then you're going to compare it to the source that's its corresponding source of the Spanish flu. In your comparisons of the COVID articles and the Spanish flu, identify similarities and differences between government responses, how it's diffused means how it's spread geographically, a cultural impact, economic impact, public reaction, and the effects of the disease themselves. Think about these factors. So in other words, if you had a scientific article here, you would compare it to the scientific evidence and scientific factors in the Spanish flu, and the same thing with culture. You'd compare it to the articles about culture, political, same thing, demographic. So there's ones that classify, the deaths from influenza pandemics and what the life expectancy would be in terms of how it's been on the rise and how it went down extensively look at how it went down extensively during the Spanish flu pandemic. Again, you may have heard people make reference to the Spanish flu pandemic when talking about COVID, because again, it was the last one that we had in the world. That was the scale of COVID. So the other ones have been a little more controlled. So that's what you do. It's only three categories and three sources. Again, getting an idea for the all of the different aspects. So the three aspects that you compare, scientific, political, demographic, whatever, is based on the articles that you find in News ELA. And again, a 2-sentence summary. Make sure you have a link to the article, and then you're going to do some comparison to how it compares to Spanish flu and vice versa. Compare, contrast, even.